So my wife and I moved to Garden Grove a couple of years ago because Costa Mesa priced us out. Our rent was $1,900 a month. They wanted to raise it to $3,600. We're like, see ya! And now we pay $1,800, which is nice. Garden Grove took some getting used to. It's not Costa Mesa.
You ever notice how you can tell what kind of neighborhood you in just by who's not working?
I wasn't sure what to expect.
If you're in any neighborhood in America at 12:15 in the afternoon,
What I have come to discover
on a Wednesday, and you see women with sweatpants on coming out the gym,
is that the food is fantastic, like multiple Michelin-rated restaurants within reasonable driving distance of my home.
pushing babies, riding bikes, chances are you're in a nice neighborhood.
That's awesome. I've filmed in one of them. I'm gonna film in the other one. Incredible. Also, my wife's commute is now 6 minutes instead of 40.
Now, let's switch it up.
But this video isn't about how awesome Garden Grove is.
If you in any neighborhood in America at 12:15 in the afternoon on a Wednesday,
This is about civics.
and you see men in sweatpants
More specifically, this is about
riding children's bicycles as their actual transportation,
the drug gang that lives in the sewer near me and is the source of most of the crime.
then you are in danger.
This is Cellini Avenue. It's where I live. That's the Women's Center. This is where Gilbert crosses over what's called the Pacific Electric right-of-way. And what it used to be was a plan for a subway in most of Orange County and Los Angeles. It was unfortunately sabotaged by the rubber companies because they wanted to sell tires, and now everybody's got a car and we have no good public transportation. As a result, the Pacific Electric Company abandoned that, and it's now property of Orange County Transit Authority. The problem is, this little drain section has a room, and in that room, there's a drug gang. They sell fentanyl, they sell meth, they murder people, they steal things. The only way to stop this problem is by putting a safety steel grate in front of the access to the room, meaning gate off this bridge with a steel grate that can't be easily filed through. I know this. The police officers know this. The problem is that the city of Garden Grove doesn't own the Pacific Electric right-of-way. Orange County Transit Authority does, which means that the primary issue isn't that nobody knows what to do, it's that there's bureaucracy in the way. So I went to city council. The city decided they wanted to do a Cellini Clean-Up. So they put this flyer out on everyone's door, and then they requested a community meeting, which about 9 of us went to. Everybody said we didn't care about the community cleanup. That wasn't what we really wanted, but the city continued with it anyway. A few days later, this flyer showed up on all of our doors. The only place that really got cleaned up, the only place that had their issues resolved was the Women's Center. And the only issue that was really resolved was that a beautiful tree was cut down because people liked to sit in their cars under the tree for shade. I'm not a fan of cutting trees down, and the Women's Center isn't even on Cellini Avenue. It's on Gilbert and Chapman. Why was that part of the cleanup? Why did the city prefer the Women's Center over the residents of Cellini? So I went to the city council meeting last week, and I said, I appreciate that you care about my neighborhood. I think that's awesome. But what you're trying to do here represents a catastrophic misunderstanding of the neighborhood and doesn't apply to anything we want. And then I explained the safety grate and the drug gang, and they didn't listen. Immediately after that, 2 people got up representing the Women's Center, again, not on Cellini Avenue, and said, thank you so much for the Cellini Clean-Up. I felt so defeated during that meeting. I felt like it was more rejection therapy. As I was leaving, feeling like my evening was spent in futility. One of the police officers who was there said, "You know Kyle, don't you?" Again, Kyle's gonna show up in another video, not this one. And I said, "Yeah, Kyle's a good friend of mine." He's like, "I 100% support your steel grate. We absolutely want it. We want to put it up." Realizing that the city council is going to go with the rich people who volunteer or own or work at the Women's Center, not the apartment dwellers like me on Cellini Avenue, I decided to do some work. My AI of preference is Google's Gemini. So I went to Google, I went to AI mode, I talked to Gemini and I said, "This is my problem." Gemini told me who to contact, told me what the gutter drain waterway was actually called. I didn't know that it was called the PE row prior to Gemini. I didn't know that it was started by the Pacific Electric Company for a subway. Gemini told me who to contact at the Orange County Transit Authority, and it said, the Orange County Transit Authority is going to prioritize requests that come from the city rather than actual residents. So try and get someone who works for the city to actually initiate contact. So I called the Department of Public Works and I said to them, "There's a drug gang. They live here. We need to seal it up. The police know we need to seal it up. The residents here know we need to seal it up. Everyone other than the drug gang wants that sealed up." And she said, "Here's the person you need to talk to. His name's Aaron Hansen. Aaron Hansen is the flood control supervisor, and for some reason, he is the name that I got in touch with." I emailed him after Gemini told me the right format that the email should be in. I haven't heard back. I spoke to another friend of mine the other day and she said, "I just need to pester the city council until they actually cave in and give me what I'm asking for, what we need to lower crime in this area, to save the city hundreds of thousands of dollars a year." Because as things stand right now, the drug gang breaks into Walmart, steals stuff, escapes out the door, and drops into the drainage, drops into the PE row where they can't be followed by the security guards. Once a week, maybe once a month, the police go down and clear out that little room. The first time they did it, they took out 5 truckloads of trash and of stolen merchandise from Walmart. They arrested 5 people, 2 of whom had murder warrants. I like Garden Grove.
That's where I want to live.
I think it's a beautiful city. It's filled with rich, diverse culture, and a lot of the residents make the life that I'm living here more beautiful. I want to stay here. I also want there to be less crime. This story is ongoing, so I'll probably post another blog about it another day. Entirely unrelated to the civics lesson I just shared, I have some news about Go Gentle. One of which is that it's no longer called Go Gentle. I thought it was a great title when we came up with it, but Calvin didn't. Calvin said we need to name it something else. He's like, "Let's call it Jackson, Colorado," which is the name of the main character. And I was like, I don't like movies that are named after characters. To me, that represents bland, uncreative titling. He's like, "What about John Wick?" And I was like, John Wick's pretty good, but it's only pretty good because it's a good movie. Like, it should have been called something else, like Don't Take My Dog. Anyway, I thought about it for a while. I came up with a bunch of different titles. The one I settled on was Leaving Jackson, Colorado, which tells you so much about the story without telling you anything. And I had to change some of the dialogue so that it's revealed that the main character is Jackson, Colorado later, so you're not sure if he's leaving a town. You're not sure if his wife is leaving him. You're not sure what's going on. It's a great title. So I ran that by Memi, who is always my first point of reference, and she's like, "I like that." Then I sent it to Calvin and Matt Wallace, and they're like, "We like that." And Matt's wife, Nikki, said, "I like that." So that's the new title. Go Gentle is now called Leaving Jackson, Colorado. I have done a bunch of edits. I'm doing rough cut number 4 today. So that's what most of this morning was spent on while I waited for my drone, which malfunctioned quite a bit in filming the earlier parts of this video. In other creative news, I realized something about last week's rejection therapy. God is co-creating the universe through me, regardless of whether I intend to do it or not, just by being myself. And when I do things that cause trouble The trouble ends up as a sort of catharsis for the person, which doesn't make me feel better about having done the thing that got me into trouble in the first place. I don't want to be in trouble, but sometimes things just need to have a catalyst. And that means stirring things up and causing chemical reactions, which looks like trouble in society. But it ends up working out for the best. And that's hard for me to reconcile, because I want a life of peace. I want a life of less suffering and more joy. And sometimes I don't get to have that because my job on the planet is to be a catalyst, to be an iconoclast. The Don Garlitz documentary progressed. I'm now doing VFX for him and maybe more, but we'll see about that. I'm going to start that this week, and he said he was cool with it. I didn't want to sign a contract with him because I trust him. I've known him for like 40 years. He's been my dad's good friend since my dad was 14 and my dad's now 80 something. So yeah, I just said, I'm going to work on this stuff. When I get it, I'll send it to you. We'll make cuts until we're both happy with it, and then you and I can talk about what I should be paid. I know you're a fair man, and I trust you. He was happy with that, so that's progressing. My wife's car has paint cancer, and I decided to spray paint it because even if the spray paint doesn't look great, and it does look pretty good, it's a better protection for the metal underneath than just paint without the lacquer on top. And I have to come to this place of absolute peace with myself in who I am and in what I'm doing. As long as I'm not causing direct, greater suffering on people, I have to acknowledge that the things that I do, even though I don't want to do them, are a part of the person's mine or the universe's catharsis, and the place of peace that I want to be in requires total self-acceptance, total non-judgment. If you want a Bible verse, it's there is therefore now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. That's the goal. The disentanglement of karmic narratives, of stories that I tell about reality, whether they're moral or structural or physics or whatever it is, to live in a space that is without judgment of any kind, without the data compression, in as much as that I can live that way. I don't know how to balance that in filmmaking. I know that there are places where I sometimes enter into it, like a flow state, but it's tough. So those are all the other life updates happening. But this one has gone on long enough. You will see me next week.